everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday morning. Going to be seeing pretty quiet weather, I think, for most of the day today, and really, again, I think for a lot of the next week or so. But, again, thanks everyone for tuning in, joining, again, watching potentially live on 1011's live stream platforms, live on our YouTube channel as well. Again, if you're on that YouTube channel, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. But, again, just a daily forecast update, quick 10 or 15 minutes, kind of headlines locally, regionally, nationally, kind of what you need to know going on, and hopefully, again, a pretty quick update for you. So again, just jumping right in, looking at your weather headlines for the day today. Again, over the next couple days, I'm going to call it a seasonably cool stretch. Temperatures are going to be just a few degrees below average, at least for us in eastern Nebraska. Same can't be said as you head across the western sections of the state. But then as we look towards the weekend, which, I mean, everyone's always looking ahead to the weekend, it's going to be turning hot and humid. Temperatures into the 90s, could even threaten some triple digits for a brief period of time this weekend. And over the course of the next week, we're really just looking at some pretty isolated chances for rain in the forecast. Not a ton of moisture going to be heading our way over the course of the next week, at least for Lincoln and eastern Nebraska. Again, we could see a little bit more as you head across the western sections of the state. Right now in Lincoln, again, just a couple minutes past 9 o'clock, still dealing with some overcast conditions. Right now it's 69 at the airport, 67 here in Midtown Lincoln. Temperatures, again, not too bad to start the day. Southeast wind at 9 miles an hour. Dew points, though, are fairly comfortable. They are in the low 60s right now in Lincoln, but at the Lincoln Airport, they are reporting visibility at 6 miles. So, again, you could hit some spots that do have some poorer visibility this morning. Temperatures statewide, it's mid-60s to low 70s. Again, warmest readings in the west. Right now, Chadron is the warm spot, starting there Wednesday morning at 78 degrees right now. Dew point temperatures, again, aren't too bad, generally in the upper 50s to low 60s. Again, we've certainly seen quite a bit worse, but, again, not too bad out there. And the winds are generally out of the south and east at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Again, this is going to help temperatures be at least a few degrees warmer than they were yesterday. Again, in Lincoln, when we topped out in the low 80s, we had some upper 70s across the eastern sections of the state. But again, expect another hot day as you head across the western sections of the state. We do have, or at least there has been, a few spotty showers early this morning across the eastern sections of the state. Been real hit or miss, but they have at least sort of been out and about. And again, right now, our satellite composite imagery having a hard time picking up some of the low clouds that we have across the state. But if we punch over the visible satellite loop, again, you can see across the eastern sections of the state and even into parts of central and even southwestern Nebraska, we do see some low clouds. We do see some areas of fog that have been developing this morning. So again, it's not perfectly clear as we start our day. So again, as I mentioned earlier, if you're out and about early, maybe give yourself a little extra time if you do run into some of those spots that do have maybe some reduced visibility. So that is something to watch out for early this morning. But otherwise, the satellite and radar picture is pretty quiet for us in Nebraska. You zoom out, look at a regional view. Again, overall, not a whole lot happening. There's some scattered showers here and there across the Front Range up into the Dakotas, but again, not a whole lot happening right now. And zooming out even farther and looking at a national view, again, not a whole lot going on right now. No major storm systems currently impacting the country. If you look at the weather alerts, we do have, again, those excessive heat warnings and heat advisories that are currently still in place across much of Texas into southwest Oklahoma. You have red flag warnings across parts of Wyoming into extreme southwestern South Dakota, across much of Nevada into Utah. You have fire weather watches, so again, dry and windy in those locations along the west coast, again, California coast. Again, you have to forgive me, I'm not entirely caught up on my ocean advisories or my water advisories, but small craft advisories there along the western seaboard of California. So again, not a whole lot happening. Again, like I just mentioned, no major storm systems impacting the country over the next day or so. So we check out Skycast again. I think we're going to be dealing with variable cloudiness across the state as we head through Wednesday morning and into the afternoon. There could be a lingering shower out there, but again, most areas are going to be staying dry as we head through the morning hours and likely into the afternoon. You can see by 5, again, it's again, partly cloudy across the state. We're going to keep an eye this evening for the potential for some thunderstorms to develop along the high plains to our west, and a couple of those could be strong to severe. These are going to be kind of what we call ridge riders, so we're going to see these kind of potentially move up from the southwest, and they're going to swing around kind of to the southeast and dive through the state. So this is 10 o'clock tonight. Have some of those isolated thunderstorms stretching from central South Dakota down into western sections of the state, down across eastern Colorado. Then those try and dive to the southeast. That'll give us at least a low-end chance for eastern Nebraska. We can see one or two of those hold together, move into our area, potentially giving us a spotty shower or two, maybe an isolated thunderstorm into Thursday morning. Chances pretty low, though. Again, more than likely going to be staying dry. But again, dealing with partly cloudy skies into Thursday morning. Into the afternoon, I think on Thursday we kind of just do the same song and dance. I think we're generally going to be dry, but we're going to be dealing with a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures should be pretty close to what we're going to expect today. And it's going to be a few degrees below average in the east. It's going to be warmer and hot above average in the west. And then as we head into the late afternoon and evening, we'll see that chance for some additional showers and thunderstorms to develop across the high country to the west, trying then to move to the east. Again, this round, could impact Lincoln and eastern Nebraska as we head into Friday morning. I think maybe this is a slightly better chance for us to see some moisture, but again, maybe 30% at best. Again, chances aren't that great, I think, at this point. Again, we'll continue to watch it. These can be real tough to try and diagnose these little ridge riders that move over the top of the ridge. So, again, could see some lingering rain into Friday morning, into the afternoon. That should clear out. And, again, dealing with a mix of sun and clouds across the state into Friday afternoon. But, again, no major storms, like I said a couple times now, expected over the next several days. If you look at the severe weather outlook for the day on your Wednesday, best chance for severe storms across the country today will be across western North Dakota into parts of eastern Montana, where they have a slight risk for severe weather. Then a marginal risk extends across parts of South Dakota into western Nebraska, western Kansas, eastern Colorado. So again, isolated strong to severe storm can't be ruled out. Large hail and damaging winds would be the primary threat to go along with heavy rain. Into the day on Thursday, that marginal risk kind of stays across, again, parts of the Dakotas, into Nebraska, western Kansas, eastern Colorado. So, again, one or two strong to severe storms can't be ruled out. And then we basically just kind of shift the angle of that marginal risk on Friday. Again, keep it across parts of Montana, the Dakotas, into Nebraska, and into northern Kansas. Again, also have a marginal risk across western Colorado into parts of Utah for the day on Friday as well. So, again, generally speaking, pretty quiet weather, though, expected for us over the next couple days. 7-day precipitation potential. Again, you can see across the country there's some large chunks of area that we're really not expecting much in the way of any precipitation as we head over the course of the next week, stretching from the Great Lakes down through the Appalachians and then down into Tennessee Valley, Arkansas, much of Texas, Oklahoma, much of Kansas. Again, here at home, again, best chance for maybe at least some decent moisture would be across the western third of the state, Sandhills into southwestern Nebraska. They could maybe see half an inch to an inch and a half of rain with some scattered thunderstorm activity over the course of the next couple days. But for much of central and eastern Nebraska, again, we're looking at maybe a tenth, maybe up to a quarter of an inch at most if we do see any activity. So again, not a lot of widespread moisture across the state over the course of the next week. High temperatures today, again, staying a little bit cooler than average across the eastern sections of the state. Again, we still should be in the middle and upper 80s for our normal high temperatures this time of year. We're going to go upper 70s, low 80s for the eastern third of the state. Central sections of the state gets mid to upper 80s, and then we're looking at 90s to even close to 100 degrees across the western sections of the state. Again, forecast today for Chadron is right at 100, 97 in Scottsbluff, 94 in Alliance, 93 in Valentine, 90 in Thedford, 89 in North Platte, 84 in Grand Island, and 83 here in Lincoln. Lows tonight, staying in the 60s, low to mid 60s across the area. Highs tomorrow, again, a little bit cooler in the west, so good news for them, but generally staying in the 80s, low 80s to low 90s. Again, for Lincoln and eastern Nebraska, again, these numbers are just a few degrees below average. Again, still a few degrees above average in the west. Into Friday morning, again, more of the same. We're looking at mid-60s for low temperatures. And then Friday afternoon highs ranging from the low 80s to the low 90s again across the state. Nationally, again, cooler day across New England. We're looking at upper 60s in Buffalo, lower 70s in Boston, right around 80 for Raleigh, into the low 90s for Miami. Low 80s here in Lincoln, 90s in triple digits across Texas. Triple digits for the desert Southwest, 80 in L.A., upper 60s in San Francisco for the day tomorrow. Again, kind of more of the same, a little bit cooler across the Great Lakes in New England, hot across the Southern Plains. Into the day Friday, again, nothing really changes, more of the same. 90s and triple digits stay bottled up across a bunch of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. but those 80s and 90s will spread into the northern plains, parts of Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska as well. And then to start the weekend, again, you can see that heat stretching all the way up, even into parts of southern Canada. 90 for Bismarck on Saturday, 92 in Billings, 88 in Casper, 91 in Denver, 99 in Tulsa, as well as Dallas, 103 in Amarillo. A little bit cooler, though, in Vegas for the day on Saturday, only mid-90s for them. 7-day forecast in Lincoln looks like this. You can see, again, kind of copy and paste forecast for us over the next at least several days. 83 on Wednesday, 82 on Thursday, 83 on Friday, and then temperatures warm up from there. 95 on Saturday, and then we could get close to 100 degrees on Sunday. Sunday looks like it'll be the hottest day for us over the course of the next week, again, with those temperatures well into the 90s, threatening the triple digits. Slightly cooler than on Monday, but we're still around 94, 92 by next Tuesday. If you look at the 10-day forecast for select cities across the state, we do cool back a little bit back into the 80s, a little bit closer to normal as we head towards the second half of the week next week. But again, do have a hot stretch of weather heading our way for the weekend and through the first half or so of the week next week. So that is a stretch that we will keep an eye on here in the Weather Center over the next couple days. Extended outlook, 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. This takes us through the end of August into early September. Equal chances at both above and below average temperatures across much of the Central Plains. I would rather have it looking like this than have us in the red, which would be better than average odds at above average temperatures. It looks like that, again, if you look at that 10-day forecast, temperatures cool back, so maybe cooling back to around normal through this time frame. And the precipitation outlook, again, most of the state looking kind of maybe right around normal precipitation, maybe slightly better than average odds in the far west for above average precip, slightly better than average odds for below average precip across the southeastern corner of the state. Better odds, though, as you head even further to the south and east across parts of Kansas, Missouri, into Illinois and Indiana. So again, this is all stuff we'll continue to keep an eye on here as we head over the course of the next several days. So again, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online. We're going to have your forecast details covered, whether it's meteorologist Brad Anderson in the morning, Chief Meteorologist Ken Shimmick in the evening, and again, we'll always keep you covered on our digital platforms as well from the 1011 Now streaming studio. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching as always. Until next time, hope everyone has a really nice Wednesday.